So, Gamescom build of RE9, we got to play it. And the most important aspect is that it is the first time the game is publicly playable. A lot of people have gotten their impressions. The negative is that it's the thing I already played. It was a little bit more polished. It was a little bit better. What I'm going to explain to you and what we're going to show off is my gameplay footage of me playing Requiem, but it's pretty much the exact same thing. So for anybody that's expecting Jill to drop in with a rocket launcher on the back of Nemesis to high-five Leon as they twerk on Jack Baker, probably not going to happen. It's pretty much the same thing of like Grace Ashcroft like waking up in this weird derelict crazy place. So there's no crazy additional characters or anything like that. Like this is the weird spooky RE9 that they're setting up for right now. And I will say personally, it does feel like there is going to be more to this because the way the game starts, which is seemingly this, is very unique, and it would be surprising if like the whole game was this way. To me, that would be surprising, but at least I get to show you. Again, the game that I compared this the most to was Alien Isolation. This experience was very Alien Isolation-like. So I switch between first and third person every once in a while during this. I think I do. But yeah, this is my Resident Evil Requiem gameplay. I'm gonna pause the notifications for now. Thank you, Moon. I think visually the game looks friggin' nuts, man. Like, it looks so good. This is sort of a long cutscene at the start, so I want to get into some gameplay stuff and talk to you all about it. If you want to be freaked out by this, I'm pretty sure this has already been shown on some other channels. Oh, that's not good. She eventually gets out of here. She wakes up in a place that you've like never seen before. This is running on a PS5 and it looked really good. It looked really good. So yeah, you just sort of like wake up in here and just start perusing around. Third person's neat, but I honestly felt that this game or this sequence ran particularly better in first person. I think it felt like this was more intended for a first person experience. But yeah, it's dark, man. Like it's really dark. This is on console. And yeah, they're just going, this is mega spooky atmosphere, dude. Power radius of just like chucking this thing. House of the Dead 2 dark, you know? I think the lighting is very impressive. If there's one thing that keeps getting better and better about the RE engine is the fact that the lighting is really good. Smash it with a bottle. And you walk around, you do some Resident Evil'ing. You find some stuff, you know? It's an impressive hallway. You find a lighter. I think at this point, I actually change it back to first person, which you can do on the fly. Which is sick, right? Which is sick. It was spooky. No, I'll give it credit. Like, so the first time I played this was at Summer Games Fest, and it was legit scary. Like, there was moments where I was like looking at the dev who was with me, and I'm like, I don't want to go in there. I don't want to go in there, dude. Like RE7 scary? I mean, kinda, yeah. Kinda, yeah. This is funny. This is really funny to me.
He's dead.
No shit. No shit.
Infected.
Pretty good and spooky. Time to start running.
What the fuck?
How creepy this thing looks, dude. This is where I get very much like Alien Isolation vibes.
Don't come any closer.
Because there's just some places it won't go. And it jumps up into the vents just like Alien Isolation, dude. It's like, whoa.
What the hell was that thing?
I'm like, this is just an isolation vent. Jeez. Are the cutscenes in first person? No. The cutscenes play out as they normally do. The fact that the game is like starting this way is pretty good. I'm curious, like, obviously how it evolves. Of all the Capcom games that are playable right now, I'm the most curious of how they evolve. That's the thing. I'm like genuinely wondering, so how does this escalate? Like, where does this go? Like, all this kind of stuff, you know? This is not a demo that was different than the one I played. This was still the same one from, like, Summer Games Fest. Yeah, it's the same thing with Onimusha. It's the same thing with Pragmata. I'm really curious, like, how they evolve. And they really don't give you, like, all of the demos don't really give you much to mess with. If anything, Pragmata's the one that gives you the most. Everything is so dark, brother. So you have to move this big thing. So creepy. It really reminds me of, like, the sequences when you go to House Bienvenido, the creepy baby house. Reminds me of that in Village, you know? But like a dedicated sequence of just, like, you have to solve it. Like, the puzzle is how do you get out of here while dealing with this thing, you know? And you just have so little resources. It's mostly a puzzle game. That did not work. That did not work. Yeah, she's massive. Massive. Is the lighter infinite? I think it was, yeah. Are they taking the RE7 route with this one? I mean, who knows? It's hard to tell if the whole game's gonna be like this. This has to be Lisa Trevor. I mean, that's the running theory. That's the running theory, is that it is like Lisa Trevor. Skip forward a little bit. Some big moments. And you always kind of like run to this room to be safe, right? Because she's afraid of the dark, or afraid of the light. Are there any weapons? There's bullets, but there's no gun.
Seriously.
And you run in here too much and the light goes out. So now you've used this room as an escape too much. So now the safe room doesn't work anymore. It's like, bruh. Bruh. This is a huge thing. You know, I said it functions a bit better in first person than third. Which did you like better? For this sequence, I think it's better in first person. Because it's not super actiony. You're not like aiming everywhere and stuff. I think the third person, when you're having to like aim and pick targets and move around a whole bunch, I think that works way better in third person. So to me, it's like there were moments where the game actually recommends which way you play it. And I think the recommendation for this sequence was first person. Jesus Christ. Does the game tell you? I think it says recommended, yeah. Excuse me. Oh God. Oh God. I'm gonna light my hair on fire. This thing sounds horrifying, dude. Close the goddamn door. Close the goddamn door. It's very well paced, you know? Why is she running so slow? Because she's not like a cop. She's a desk worker, you know? She's like a normal chick. She has no experience. And actually, that's the end right there. We weren't able to show it, and much less we had to stop it there. So that was it. That was literally the only part of the game that was playable. And then after that, like, can't talk much about it, but it leads to, like, obviously the next part of the game. I'm just gonna stick with my presumption that this is obviously going to elevate. You know, there is bullets. There are things that you can find in this demo that are obvious that you can't use, but they're giving you teasers for other stuff. Resident Evil also has a history outside of like 7 and 8 to a certain extent. At the end, Chris shows up, right? Playing two characters. Like, that's a big part of Resident Evil games, is playing multiple scenarios at the same time. I still am under the impression that this game will not entirely be Grace Ashcroft navigating and becoming a one-woman army. I don't think that's gonna happen. I think there's likely going to be some other characters that will show up in the similar way that like Chris shows up at the end of RE8, but hopefully not for like just the end of the game, right? That Chris sequence is really cool, but it was always weird that like Joe Schmo Ethan becomes like gun kata guy by the end of those games, you know? That's always been funny to me that like the most Joe Schmo Ethan ends up becoming like this crazy dude doing all this crazy stuff by like the end of the game, like bam, 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 like John Wick cop, you know? It makes a lot of sense to me because this is impressive and it's really fun and it's good, but I don't know if I want the entire game to be like this, and it feels like they are specifically holding back. It feels like there is an intention to hold back what the rest of the game is, and they're being very coy, dude. Like, they're not answering any questions about anything, bro. They're not talking about when it's going down, like what time frame. All we know is that it is Raccoon City. Like, all the trailers and everything that have shown off so far is specifically keeping you in the dark about how the game is. And it's my presumption that at some point there's going to be like a big character reveal of some kind. Like, it really feels that way.